Yo, what's up everyone? Finally back, and I'm bringing y'all a how-to video with dealing with Hwoarang. Some of y'all have been asking this for a while now, and I'm finally able to bring that to y'all. So before I do that though, I just wanted to shout out real quick. Thank you everyone who got me to over 400 followers. I really do appreciate y'all, and I'm glad y'all enjoy the content. So I'm just gonna keep it coming and appreciate it. Thank you so much everyone. And all in all, I don't know if you noticed what's above my head. We got Tekken King with King. And that was quite the journey, believe it or not, with King. As somewhat cracked as King is right now, that was a little rough. And there's a lot of reasons for that too right now, and the game has been in a weird state for a while now. But I mean, regardless of that, we got through. So if you want, I was actually thinking of making a video on tips and tricks on how to get past the blue ranks, right? Getting past Fujin, because that's where a mix of really interesting players, to say the least, get involved in some technical Tekken, you know. So other than that though, not to waste any more time, let's go ahead and find this Hwoarang battle that we did a while ago, which is gonna be over here. And we're gonna play on the right side because that's where I was. And I already went ahead and did a set with this dude. Not the first set, excuse me, not a set. I did a first match with this dude, and he beat me, wiped the floor with me. And then I got a little bit of a read, right? And I just barely won, but I felt like I just won off of guesses, you know, and I didn't really feel like that would be enough of a video of be like, hey, look, I guessed here, right? You know, because, you know, it's just a matter of a 50-50. But in this case, we actually were able to apply a little bit more fundamentals, and I'm gonna start going into the frame advantage stuff here, a little bit more technical. Someone did point that out, and I do want everyone to be familiar with frames, right? So I'm gonna start saying the frames, and I'm just gonna let it be natural as possible, right? But it's pretty simple to understand once you get the basics of it. But I'm not making a, you know, how to read frames video right here, right? We're just gonna look at how we deal with Hwoarang. So right off the bat, we're gonna start the match here. He comes in with a jab. Make sure my volume's good. My volume looks a little... yeah, okay. So starting that over here, he immediately starts with a jab. This is the first round. I go for a down 4-1 just to check him to see what he does. Comes in with the jab. He's plus 12, right? So we're gonna not attack. Immediately goes into stance transition. Does it again. And these are like the typical Hwoarang players that you're really gonna see. You know, like these Hwoarang players are... and I'm not trying to say like these Hwoarang players, but it can be frustrating to fight. They can be really, really frustrating to fight. So with that being said, there's a lot of key little points that you have to recognize right off the bat here. And the first thing we start recognizing is the fact that he's using his jab strings to get into stance, right? So he gets into his flamingo stance immediately, uses his frames to try to put more pressure on me. So I'm backing away, and I actually duck. I guess right, but even with me guessing right, I still eat the high, which is crazy, you know. And again, that can be really frustrating, and that could set the tone for a match completely, right? So we go ahead, we take our guesses. He gets the down 3-4 string again, approaches, and we're learning something here. I'm a little bit plus now, all right, but again, still really scary. We're not gonna go ahead and push our advantage here. Do the down jab real quick, right? Just to see what happens, right? I do the down jab, and you notice I don't really go for anything crazy, right? And what happens here? He goes for a down jab right back. So that to me as a player, that's telling me, and that should tell you as a player, that this dude really, really wants his advantage. He wants to keep his turn because that's when he's in control of the match. So we need to start focusing on taking that control away. We don't want our opponent to have that much control, and we don't want our opponent to get away with getting in control like that, right? I'm gonna let this play out here. Goes in for the while standing 4. Immediately starts to take his turn again. As you can see, we go for the low parry. Instant Shining Wizard, which gives us big damage. So as you can see, I start taking my turns immediately because I need to build that pressure. Because once he has this pressure, guess what he's doing? See? Right? And we also notice something as a king player, to all other king players out there, when your opponent starts ducking you, that you need to understand that is a hard read, and whatever autopilot you have on, you better make sure that's off. Every grab you do has to be extremely intentional, because these Hwoarang players and other sorts of characters are going to just launch you because they don't want to deal with the grab mix-up. They really don't. So they're going to duck you, right? Which is what happened here. So that to me was a huge note taker, right? That was a note taking opportunity that I have to be aware of for the next time. Jab pressure again, and if you're initiating pressure, you have to understand that your pressure, it needs to be intentional too. You know, if you're just throwing jabs 1-1, 1-2-1, and then you're just trying to get that into stance, you're giving the opponent an opportunity to be like, oh, now it's time for me to do something intentional when this dude looks like he's just mashing, right? It looks like he's mashing. I'm gonna duck under the high, and I'm gonna see what full crouch options I have, or evade the high completely to launch, which in this case, we did get the launch, and we got the combo, yeah. And that's the thing, like, even in this sense, like, I'm still guessing. Honestly, like, I just have a little bit of information, you know, but that's it. So don't feel bad if your guesses wind up making you die. Like, that's just the game of playing against Hwoarang. Right? So in this point, forward, I don't know what they decide, what they were thinking with this move. This move feels so useless. Huge startup, and then look, whiffs. And then look, I was already facing him. And then it spun me back, and then I had to deal with the back turn mix up, and then I die for this. And again, you're just guessing here. Block, you're blocking, block, and it was either gonna be a low or a mid. You know, you just gotta take your turns, take your guesses, that's all. Now, Jaguar step is so good for King. Oh, I fast forward. Oops. Yeah, so we Jaguar step, boom, boom. Get our heat engager, and he goes for it again. He ducks again, and this is the only second time I've actually even attempted to throw my offense game. So this guy is actually ducking out of habit, not because he has a read. He's ducking because he does not want to deal with the mix-up, and he just wants his turn. He stands up. He could have killed me for that, but he goes for a down 3-4 mix-up. I duck, and I'm dead. Somehow I drop the combo. Takes his turn right back. You're guessing. You're guessing at that point, once again. So at this point, this guy's 2 rounds in. I'm already like... whatever, man. I'm pretty sure I'm dead at this point. I'm pretty sure I lost the set here. We get our punish, though. Now, you see what we're doing here is we're going ahead and we're actually testing his mid-game. He didn't duck that time, but I don't think he's familiar with the fact that back 2-1 leaves me for a good range of doing an instant Shining Wizard or a Giant Swing, right? So at that point, I'm kind of understanding where he likes to panic move, right? He tries to do his panic moves here. Right here, right? So he goes into stance once again. Remember, we pointed it out earlier in the match here. And then for me, I'm like, okay, here we go. He's trying to do this again. And remember, +3 isn't a big opportunity here. What does he try to go for? I think he was going to go for a down 4, down 3-4, whatever that is. I'm pretty sure it's down 3-4, right? Interrupt him with King's down forward 1-2, or down forward 2-1. Like, this move is crazy. Super hit confirmable. And people who are... You can't let King get away with this move. So remember, it ends in a high. As you saw there. Don't let King get away with that move. I get my combo. I take damage. I don't want to go for setups. I just want damage. I want to get him far away from a life lead as possible. Because Hwoarang can easily chip that life lead away. And all of a sudden, before you know it, 4 or 5 moves later, you're at the same health as him. I don't understand, right? Like, I just did a combo, and how is he in the life lead? That's Hwoarang. Get up kicking for no reason, right? Again, that's a note-taking moment. My forward 2-1 gets interrupted, even though we let him do 1, 2, 3, 4 moves. I got interrupted. So at that point, I'm blocking. I take my punish. Y'all remember that's punishable, right? I have a feeling he's gonna duck. He did. You see? Now we're like, no. I'm gonna make you stand up now. I don't want you ducking. We're not gonna let him get away with that. And you see, he did it again. He did the jab pressure into the flamingo stance, and we interrupted it again. So that was twice now that we are understanding that we can interrupt that when he's not knowledgeable of that. Down jab again. You see, as soon as we initiate pressure, he doesn't want it. So I'm like, okay. I guess I die. That's insane. You see that? He's panicking. Every opportunity he can try to take, he's gonna try to take it. Patience, super patience. He has heat smash right now. We don't want that to land. Trade. Instant shiny wizard wake up. He's ducking. We're getting reads now. Now he's kind of scared to like, when do I duck now? Because I don't want to get caught. We're having reads now, as you can see. Once we see the telegraph right here. Oh, you want to go into stance to try to initiate pressure? Nah. Nope. The key is to make sure that you hold your duck just a little bit, so you can make sure that you launch that move, right? Just give it a second and then you'll get the launch. Do I staple here? Run a little bit forward for wall carry. Make sure he can't have any more kids. Now we styling on him. Pedigree. Boom. And you see what happens? There was no need for him to even do that move because it was completely his turn. You do that move when it's not your turn, right? When it's like, I don't want to do a pressure, that spin move that Hwoarang does gets him out of it. He didn't have to do that, but in this case, we knew that we were -9. King is -9 after his launching elbow during his Jaguar dash. And we just backed away when we were able to use the heat smash to end the round. So that being said, this is super, I don't want to say super quick, but it was a pretty quick one because you either get Hwoarangs that can get really far into the blue ranks, as you saw here, or those Hwoarangs tend to stay behind in the red and purple ranks. So it's not until you get to, you know, like the god ranks that, or even some Hwoarang players in the higher blue ranks like Bushin, that they're gonna be very technical, and then every move that they do is gonna have a purpose. And that's when those Hwoarangs get tricky, which is crazy because I haven't ran into those. I don't think, maybe once or twice, but it was just one of those things where it's like, I was just in the beginning of when Tekken 8 released or something like that, and I was just like, I have no idea how Hwoarang plays right now in Heat or anything like that. So this was just to make sure that we can kind of get through and recognize some patterns that a lot of Hwoarang players can get away with in those ranks, and hopefully this can be able to go ahead and you actually can kind of see how to deal with that now. So and again, this is just showing that it can be done. Hwoarang can be a really frustrating player to deal with, or a character to deal with, but it can be done, right? So other than that, I'm gonna leave it here. Y'all take care, and I'm gonna try to bring y'all some more videos. Let me know if y'all want some Asuka videos, because I did record some of those too. Those are fun. All right, see you guys.